Hey, financial coach, get ready for the brand new Mastermind experience starting on Tuesday, September 10th. Over 2 weeks, you'll have the chance to experience our official Financial Coach Mastermind firsthand. If you've ever been curious about whether a mastermind is the missing piece that can help you make the time you're spending on your business even more impactful, now is the time to find out. Connect with other dedicated financial coaches, learn from their experiences, and discover what's working and what's not. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get a powerful peek into the mastermind and decide if it's exactly what you need to navigate your business into next year. Go to financialcoachacademy.com/mastermind for more information.
I'm ahead of the game.
Hi, I'm Kelsa Dickey, the CEO of the Financial Coach Academy and my financial coaching business, Fiscal Fitness Phoenix. My coaching journey began more than a decade ago with me helping people for free from my dining room table. What was once a little business of mine has grown into a 7-figure company that employs a team of people. My goal is simple: to help you fall more and more in love with financial coaching. I believe financial coaching is the most rewarding way to make a living. If you are an aspiring financial coach or have been coaching for years, I'm here to help you create a business you love that gets your clients massive results. Let's get to it.
Hey there, financial coach. Welcome back to the Financial Coach Academy podcast. This is Coach Jill here subbing in for Kelsa while she is away on her summer sabbatical. I'm excited to be here with you again for one more episode this summer. If you haven't caught it, I've done the last 2 episodes, so you can go back and check out how to overcome the objection that your pricing is too high. Or last week we talked about how to take a conversation from your DMs into the real world. So I've been loving having a couple of episodes here with you guys this summer. And this week, we are going to be talking about a very hot topic that I see all the time. Coaches are asking about this in the Facebook group and in the mastermind when I work with them one-on-one. And they are asking the question, how do we talk about investing as a financial coach, right? This is a really big one because I know so many coaches want to be able to talk at least a little bit about investing, but are worried about where the line is or how to make sure they don't cross the line into advising. And we also see advisors that are in our Financial Coaches Unite group who will say, you know, you've got no business talking about investing at all, steer clear, this isn't where you have a role. And I really want to dive into that. I think that it's important for us to acknowledge it and to see where a financial coach fits into this conversation and where they don't, right? Where a financial advisor is better going to serve this role for the client. So I'm excited to dive into this with you today. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to Coach Emily Macklin. She left a comment on our YouTube channel, and this comment, she was talking about episode 63. So if you haven't listened to it, go back and check out episode 63, where Kelsa is talking about how to separate personal and business finances. And Emily says, "This is so good, Kelsa. I love the nuanced purposes and goals of a financial coach and the accountant and how you highlighted the nuance between them in each step. I also love how you break this down and remind us to keep it simple. I swear in my mind, this is all one thing, but I love how you slow down and make it into bite-sized pieces. I'm realizing I don't do this enough." Well, thank you so much, Emily, for taking the time to leave a comment. We really do read and respond to every one of them, so we appreciate you for engaging and letting us know what you thought of the episode. And I'm just thrilled to hear that it really did give you some new perspective and insight about how to approach this conversation with your small business owner clients. So thank you again for the comment. All right. So for today's episode, we are going to be talking specifically about how to talk about investing as a financial coach. Like I said, we get this question all the time. And even in the last few weeks, we've had several people in the Financial Coaches Unite Facebook group ask for more guidance or resources around how to talk to their clients about this topic. So first, I think that it's so great that so many coaches are asking about this and wanting to find a way to talk about investing with their clients without crossing the line into financial advising. I see this so often, especially for newer coaches who are wondering how much is too much, and can I even talk about investing at all? And the answer is yes. We can talk about investing and retirement with our clients, but it definitely does look a bit different than what that conversation would look like with a financial advisor. So in this episode, I want to talk a little bit about what that looks like, how our roles are a bit different here, and how we can support our clients in talking about investing in retirement as their coach. Also, before I begin, I do want to address something that I see happening again and again in our Facebook group, Financial Coaches Unite. I will see a newer coach ask this question in the Facebook group about what they can and cannot talk about with clients, or how to know where the line is. And in the comments, I will see that original poster get berated by comments in the group from advisors or others that are telling them that coaches have no business talking to their clients about investing and that they should know better. And it just really is not very kind the way that a lot of times they are responded to. And I want to say that I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I believe that as coaches, we are in a unique position to have amazing conversations with our clients about all aspects of their financial life. The conversations that we have with our clients help them to develop confidence with their money. It allows them to ask better questions. They become more engaged in their financial life, and they're more committed to their financial decisions. And us talking with our clients about investing helps them to become better, more committed investors. And that is really great for financial advisors because our clients have a safe space to learn, to ask questions, and to dip their toe into sort of exploring this whole idea, especially if there's someone that has not done it in the past. They will often feel much more well-equipped to go out and begin investing. They feel more confident going out and asking for the guidance and help of a financial advisor, or going out and educating themselves more about this topic. And that begins with the conversation with you, coach. Oftentimes, you are the bridge that helps to take them to the next step. So if you are a financial advisor who has been adamantly against financial coaches talking to their clients about investing, I do want to encourage you to have an open mind and perhaps adopt the belief that financial coaches can and should talk to their clients about investing, but in a different way than you do, right? In a way that I'm going to outline in this lesson. Now, for the financial coaches that are listening, I also want to preface this conversation by saying that our role as a financial coach is not to tell the client what to do when it comes to investing. So just like anything else that we coach our clients with, right? We are not there to tell them what to do, but we're there to help them determine what they think about it and to determine what their next best step is for themselves. So in this case, we're going to be talking about investing, and we want to help our clients to see more clearly what the role of investing is in their financial life. We want to help them see their path towards the future that they want. So we want them envisioning their retirement. We want them to be thinking about the steps they could take in order to move in the direction of that vision. And along with this, we might educate them on some of the various possibilities available to them. So we want to help them think through these options so that they can make the best decision about what they want to do for themselves. And we can do all of this without ever coming close to crossing the line into investment advising, okay? So our role is to help the client think about what they want, help them explore their vision for the future when it comes to retirement, to help them know how to gain the knowledge or information that they need in order to explore the vision for themselves or begin taking action on it. We can help them determine who they want to talk to or what they want to learn for themselves. And we can show them how much money they have available in their budget today that they could use for investing if they chose to do so, right? So these are all extremely valuable things that we can do with our clients. Through our coaching coaching conversations, we find out what the client thinks about investing in retirement and how it relates to their vision for their life. All of these things are part of bringing the client to a place where they are excited, where they're committed, and where they're bought into taking action, right? We want to help our clients become committed and consistent with the actions that they're taking with their financial life, right? So in this case, it might be towards building that retirement vision that they have. And we can help them to do that without giving any advice about what funds they should be investing in or anything like that, right? So one of the greatest gifts that we can give to our clients is to help them feel empowered in their financial life. And understanding the investing side of things is often an important part of that. As financial coaches, or rather as a financial coach myself, I have a lot of conversations with my clients about retirement. And I can easily do this without giving them any specific investment advice because there are so many other things to discuss. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about a portion of this with you. But if you want more help on coaching your clients with investing in retirement, we do go more in depth with this and into more thorough lessons on these topics in our financial coaching specialty toolkit, coaching on advanced topics in personal finance. So if you go and look for that, there will be some more in-depth lessons. I think there's like a couple of 30-minute to 1 hour lessons that talk specifically about coaching your clients through investing and retirement topics. But for today's purposes, I want to go over some of the 4 main topics of conversation that you could use with clients when you're talking to them about investing or retirement. All of these conversations likely might lead to bigger conversations that they might have with you or that they might have with their financial advisor or something else. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm excited to share this with you guys. All right. So the first topic that you can talk to with your clients is to talk to them about what retirement means to them anyway, right? So what is it that they think of when they hear the word retirement? This is a whole coaching conversation, okay, where you will explore with your client what it is that they imagine in their mind when they think about retirement. What comes up when you say that word? And you sort of want to just explore this with them. Be curious. Ask them, when you think of someone who is retiring, what age is that in your mind? And what do you picture this person to be like? I have found through the years when I start exploring the topic of retirement with clients, and we begin to sort of say, well, what do you imagine life will be like then? Or how do you see yourself? Or who is it in your mind that you envision when you think of someone who's retired? And they will often describe to me someone who is old and gray haired and they sit at home most of the time. And, they maybe have a few hobbies that they enjoy. But that isn't always what retirement is, right? Retirement can look like a lot of different things for a lot of different people at different ages in their life also. And what we want to do is simply plant the seed for the client to begin to imagine the possibilities, right? So this whole topic is them imagining what retirement means to them. We want them to identify what is important to them and start manufacturing this vision in their mind. What is it going to look like? What are they headed towards? Why are they working towards that? What is life going to be like at that stage? How will it be different than it is right now? So we do want to sort of plant some seeds for the client to let them know that retirement doesn't have to be 75 years old and in a nursing home and, watching The Price is Right all day long. It could be something different and it could be something more for them. So we might tell the client, what if retirement meant that you have enough money to survive without any further income? And that was just how you viewed it. That could happen at any time in life, right? That you have enough money to survive without earning any further income. What if it meant that you have enough in your investments and long-term savings that you could pull money out of that and the money wouldn't be depleted, right? That it was still earning enough interest that was supporting your savings and that was what you lived on? Wouldn't that be cool, right? Or what if it meant that you're to quit working today, but you wouldn't lose a significant part of your way of life, right? That you would still be able to keep functioning and living your life more or less the way that you are without having to go into work every day. Or what if it just meant that work was optional, right? You could do some gig jobs or some contract work here and there, or you could take some time off of work. What if it meant that you could pursue your passions or pursue a passion project or a passion job and take much less pay and do it more on a hobby basis than working full time? You wouldn't have to worry about the income side of things. So again, you're planting seeds with the client and exploring this conversation with them so that they can begin to imagine for themselves what it is that they want in the future and what they're working towards, right? So before they're even thinking about investing or if they're putting into their Roth or 401k and like what funds they should be putting into, we want to help our clients to explore their vision for what retirement is for them and what that path looks like. How soon is that? What are they going to be doing in life? Just even imagining it is good for our clients because most people don't take the time to imagine that. They are sort of caught into this cycle of you work until it's retirement age when you can get Social Security and then you think about maybe retiring if you can, right? And we want to simply let them begin to explore the idea that maybe there are other possibilities. Right? So retirement likely means something a little bit different for every single one of your clients. Some people are going to see themselves working differently. Others are going to see themselves traveling more or spending more time with family. Maybe they just want to like work but not work so hard and doing something that they enjoy more. So ask your client about this. This is part of that coaching conversation. What do they think of this idea? Do they think that it's possible? Do they think it's too good to be true? Or what are the other things that they are thinking? So like I said, before we're even diving into talking about numbers or options as far as how to invest and save for retirement, we want the client thinking about what retirement means to them first. So this is why this conversation starts here. If they don't ever even imagine seeing themselves retire, then they likely aren't going to be very engaged in a conversation about investing for retirement. So that's why we have to begin here. And we want the client to see that vision because then they're much more committed to taking the actions that come next, right? We don't want someone who always feels guilty of like, I know I'm supposed to be investing. I know I've been told that I should do this, but I just haven't done it yet. And they don't do it, not because they don't think that it's smart or because they haven't been told, but it's because they don't have that vision for their life as to why they should actually do it, right? So we want to begin there and then build from that. All right. The second topic that you can talk about is a conversation around what does the client currently know and what are they currently doing, right? So just sort of getting a lay of the land. What is currently happening? Many of the clients that I work with often feel like investing is over their head. They just didn't grow up in a household that taught them about investing. Their education on it has been very spotty. They maybe have heard some of the terms, but they don't really understand what they mean, or they don't understand the differences of like one type of investment vehicle compared to another. And before we dive into even talking about numbers or the wonders of compound interest, we really want to get a feel for what the client already knows, right? So this lets us see where we can fill in any gaps related to their current understanding or knowledge and education around investing. So I'm going to give you some questions that you can ask to help facilitate this part of the conversation. But before I dive into that, I want to remind you that during this conversation where you're sort of assessing their knowledge, right? I want you to be very careful not to give too much information, right? Like if you see, gosh, this client doesn't really know much about investing. It's a very foreign topic to them. It's a little over their head. They like acknowledge that they feel kind of, not educated in this area of their financial life. One of the worst things that you can do is like try to fill in all of the gaps in one conversation, right? We don't want to open the fire hose on them and share everything that we know or that could be helpful or useful to them. So if you go too deep or give too many details, for instance, the client is probably going to leave the session feeling even more overwhelmed than they were when they first came in, right? So we don't want to do that to them. We want to move them ahead just sort of one step at a time. They don't need to learn everything in one conversation. They simply need to know enough to take the next step forward, right? So here are some conversations that you can ask your client in order to gain a baseline of where they're at, all right? And then from these questions, of course, you're going to have a more in-depth conversation. Be curious, ask them more details as you go. But here are some questions to ask. You can ask them, are you already investing in some way, and how? What type of account are you using? Do you know how much you're currently investing? I will tell you that this is something a lot of the people I talk to don't actually know. So they'll say, I don't know, I'm putting in for my 401k. I think I'm doing the max. They don't know what dollar amount that is, or maybe they know a percentage, but again, they don't know what dollar amount that is necessarily. I'll have clients that tell me, I think I'm doing the max, but what they mean is the max that their company will match. So if their company does a 3% match on their 401k, in their mind, that's the most they can put in. And they're like, I'm doing the max, which oftentimes is not anywhere close to the max, right? But it's just what they know they get matched on. So again, you want to be asking these questions so that you can fill in those gaps. So if someone says, yes, I'm doing the max, you'll say, oh, that's great. How much last year did you put in, right? You might follow it up with that question just to verify, in their mind, what does the max mean? And is it the same as what reality is? You might ask them, how familiar are you with different types of investment accounts? And I will say when I ask questions like that, again, if it's a client that doesn't really know very much, they might say, well, I've heard of an IRA and I've heard of a 401k. Sometimes they just sort of are stumped, and you might ask them those questions like, have you ever heard of an IRA? Do you know what that is? Or, you might have to lead the conversation a bit more. So just know that sometimes their answers might be very short, and it is because they feel uncertain, or they feel awkward, or maybe a little bit embarrassed that they don't know more and they feel like they should. And I find for most people, they feel that they should know more about this. And the reality is there's just not a great place for people to learn about it. So it's wonderful to have you as a coach where they can sort of open up and be vulnerable and admit, I don't really know much about this. And I've had so many clients over the years that will tell me, I know I probably need to go talk to a financial advisor, or I got a financial advisor, but I don't ever want to go meet with them because I feel like it's all over my head and I don't understand, which is not a good thing, right? We do not want our clients feeling intimidated about meeting with their advisor or avoiding starting to invest because they feel like they aren't adequately prepared to have those conversations, or they don't have enough knowledge to do it, which is why I think financial coaches serve such an important role, because we can make it less intimidating for them, right? We can give them a safe space to sort of dip their toe in and explore it and ask the questions that they say, I'm going to feel stupid asking this question, but they'll ask it to us. And we can help to fill that gap so that they feel ready to go have the conversation with an advisor or with someone else. We might ask our clients, let's see, do you have a financial advisor? Just like what I was saying, do you meet with them regularly? How did you get connected with them? What sort of relationship do you have with them? We might ask them, did you grow up in a house that talked about investing, or did your parents teach you about it? What did they model for you? What did you observe about them preparing for retirement? Or, if they have older parents now, you might ask, were they prepared? Were they ready? Did they model that for you? They'll oftentimes tell stories of their parents that didn't get prepared and they really are fearful of landing in the same position. So again, acknowledging all of this just really helps to have a good conversation and open the client up to exploring this more deeply. You might ask the client, if you've met with a financial advisor before, tell me how that meeting went. How did that conversation go? What did you think about investing when you were done with the meeting? Do you feel confident with what you're doing right now with your investing, and why or why not, right? So all of these questions, they aren't really talking about the specifics of the investing, but you're getting a sense of the client's buy-in. You're getting a sense of their confidence with it, of their level of comfort with this area of their financial life. And all of this is really important. So based on these answers, you're really going to have a much better sense of what the client needs to know a bit more about, what they want to know more about, what they're not interested in, or you might see any major gaps that you sort of want to be able to fill in, or any misunderstandings that you can clear up for them. So any of that could be really important and is a wonderful outcome from this conversation. Okay, the third thing that you can talk to your clients about is to talk about what do they want to do going forward. Right? So you just talked about what are they doing right now? What do they currently know? And so moving naturally from that is like, well, what do you want in the future? What do you want to do now that you're starting to give more attention to this? And now that you're more committed to your financial life, how might this change? So your client might be investing already, or maybe they haven't started at all and they're ready to get started. But when you're having this conversation with them about investing or starting to think about retirement, you do want them thinking about what it's going to mean to them. So are they interested in early retirement? Do they want to plan for something that allows them to take a temporary break from work or transition to more fulfilling work? Are they wanting to plan ahead for full retirement in their 60s? Like, what do they want going forward? So you've explored the vision in the beginning, you've looked at what they're doing now. Now it's like, well, now that you're thinking about this and you're imagining what you want for yourself, let's sort of define that. What is it that you want to be working towards? So anything that they want to do, you at least want them to be considering these possibilities for what they're going to want for themselves, so that we can begin to help them figure out how to get there, right? We can do all of this, again, without diving into any of the specifics of investing advice, right? We are not crossing the line to what an advisor does. Before the client decides exactly what they want to do when it comes to their specific investment strategy, they need to be clear about what they're actually working towards. So what do they want, right? What do they want? If they say, I just want to know that when I get to 67, I, can stop working, I can collect Social Security, I can have a little nest egg in my retirement that's going to fund the rest of my life, and I just want to make sure that I'm going to be able to live a simple life. Great. That is perfect. Other people are going to have very different visions for what they want, and you want the client to start articulating it, even if it changes over time, right? The more that they are envisioning this and talking about it and creating a plan for it, the clearer and clearer that plan gets as they get closer to their actual retirement. So now that you've talked with the client about what retirement might mean for them, or helped them to feel a bit more clear about where they currently are and what they want to change, or what they want to do a little bit different, or what they want to improve upon, we're going to move into the fourth topic, which is, how do I start, or who do I want to help me, right? So again, this is a piece of the conversation that we can help facilitate for our clients. We can get a little bit more into talking about the how. How is the client going to get started? What are they going to do? Who do they want to speak to? What do they want to learn? So it is really important to let the client know that there are different ways to go about this, and it's not going to be the same for everyone. And so this is part of where we can help to just explore the different possibilities with our client, educate them on the different paths or options that are out there, and just help them to determine what the next step is that they want to take in exploring that. So I often will, just give my clients a very simple or general overview and say there's three main ways that I typically see clients will go about investing. And so let's talk about what those are. And this will give you something to explore and consider what might be the best fit for you, at least at this stage in your life, right? So we might talk about self-investing. We might talk about working with an advice or fee-only financial advisor, and then we might talk about working with a traditional advisor. And I want my clients to understand the difference between these various paths that they can take, and see how they would pay for them, or what their role would be in each of them. This is important for them to understand. So the first one, talking to our clients, I'll talk to them about self-investing and let them know this is a path that a lot of people will take. They will choose to manage their own retirement investments. They will open their own retirement accounts. They'll choose their own investments or funds or stocks that they're investing in, and they will manage it independently without the help or assistance or oversight of a financial advisor. So in that role, we can let our clients know, like, this tends to be the least expensive of the options because you are not paying any fees to an advisor, but it also does place the most responsibility on you. Like, you have to be the one that educates yourself about investing. And there are resources out there to do that. So if this intrigues you, let's talk about what some of the resources are so that you can go and begin to educate yourself and learn more about it, right? So we can provide books, we can give them podcasts or websites or Facebook groups or anything like that that's going to help the client to begin to gain some education. We might, warn them about some things to like be aware of, or any like red flags if they're seeing, there's just all sorts of marketing out there about get rich quick in stock market and stuff like that. So we probably want to warn our clients about some of the things to watch out for so they don't go down this rabbit hole on social media or something, but really provide them some reputable sources of education so that they can explore if self-investing is something that they want to do. Now, the next thing we can talk to them about is what a fee-only or advice-only financial advisor is. And I will let my clients know, this is great. You can work with a financial advisor who's going to review all of your investments or help you figure out the investment strategy that's going to work best for you. They can tell you what accounts to open, what funds to invest in. If you're in a 401k already, they can evaluate how you're distributing your money in the 401k and help you with allocations or anything like that. They can help to give you some targets for what you want to be working towards. So this is wonderful, and you can just pay for that strategy session. So this is done in a variety of different ways from different advisors. I see some advisors that have this as part of their practice, and you can pay to come in and do like an annual session, or every other year even. You pay for that session and they'll do all of the planning and strategy work and sort of give you your, plan of attack when you leave. There's also a new company called Nectarine. The website is hellonectarine.com. This is an advice-only financial advisor platform where they have different advisors there, and they charge a very low fee. So for someone that's maybe just starting out or wants to self-invest on their own, but does want a little bit of insight or oversight from a financial advisor just to make sure they're on the right path, this might be a great fit. And you can pay that one-time fee, meet with the advisor and get your plan, and then you go out and actually execute on it, right? So this fee can range. I've seen like $150 up to maybe $2,500, everything in between, maybe even more. It just probably depends on the complexity of the situation and who that advisor is serving. The third option is a traditional financial advisor. So I would say this is what most people think of when they think about investing, is that they think about working with a financial advisor. And this is someone who's going to be actively managing their investments for them. So typically, their advisor will meet with them at least once a year. They're going to provide some feedback, advice, strategy about their investments and their plan for their retirement. Their advisor is going to be their main point of contact. So someone that they hopefully are like really developing a relationship with, that they get to know, that they can reach out to when they have questions. And that advisor usually is not going to be paid like the fee-only advisor where you just pay at time of service, but usually their fees are going to come out of the investments that they're managing. So I do think this is an important piece of information for clients to be aware of, that they're not going to be writing out a check or making a payment when they go to meet with their financial advisor. The fee will come out like automatically from the funds that are invested. But because it's a little bit out of sight, out of mind, clients often have no idea what they're paying. And I do think this is an important thing for them to be aware of, that we want to make sure our clients are aware that there is a percentage of how much money is invested that they are going to be paying every year. And we want them to understand that hopefully the level of support sort of correlates to how much they're paying for that advisor's support. So that is a piece of education that I think is important for our clients to have. And when we're talking about traditional advisors, hopefully we've all got a handful of them in our network that we really know and trust and like, and we think would partner well or serve our clients well, that we can refer them to, and hopefully give our clients just some good questions to ask about how that advisor is going to work with them and support them so that the client feels more confident or engaged if they're going into that conversation. So I will say that regardless of what we ourselves do for our own investing, I do really think it's important that we be prepared to share with our clients all the different paths or options. I know this is like 3 sort of main paths or options. Like I said, we're not going to get super down into like every possibility that's available to someone, but I think giving them like a few of the main paths or options that we see people take and letting them know where they can go to educate themselves or to learn more or take those next steps is really important. It's not our job to have a full understanding of all of the different intricacies or various investment vehicles or strategies. That is what a financial advisor is there for, but we can educate our clients about where to learn about these options, and we can provide them with those resources or referrals or information so that they know where to begin or what the next step might be. So hopefully this gives you some good ideas, Coach, about how to have great conversations with your coaching clients about investing in retirement without crossing the line into advising or feeling like you're going to have to worry that you may be like towing that line and going to get in trouble. I really do believe that this is an important role for financial coaches and that we can work really well alongside financial advisors with supporting our clients in their financial journey. We don't need to be the everything for our clients when it comes to this piece of their financial life, but we can help them to gain clarity on what they want and create more connection to that vision and desire that they have for their future. So that's really huge and important. All right. In our next episode, we're going to be diving into talking about how you, coach, talk about what you do more effectively in your social media or email marketing, because don't forget, you are a coach and we need to make sure that your audience knows that. All right. As we wrap things up, you know that we wholeheartedly believe in coaching and the coaching philosophy. And in order to honor that, we really do want to spend a bit of time reflecting on what you've just learned to deepen your awareness of your thoughts and really help you gain clarity on today's topic and how you want to apply it. So this also creates an opportunity for you to engage with us at the Financial Coach Academy. So if you've got some thoughts after listening to this episode, please do leave them in the comments if you're listening on YouTube, or pop over to our Facebook group at Financial Coaches Unite, and you can share any thoughts with us there. We do love to read those and engage with you. The question that I want you asking yourself is, how can I help my clients learn more and take action with investing without crossing over the line into advising? What are you going to take from this episode and incorporate into your coaching conversations to help guide the client forward when it comes to investing and retirement? And do you see now how you can do this without ever getting into those nitty-gritty investing details? All right, Coach. You know that at the Financial Coach Academy, we wholeheartedly believe that financial coaching is the best and most rewarding way to make a living. I truly love what I do. I hope you do too. If you're ready to learn and see how to become a profitable and successful financial coach, please come and check us out at financialcoachacademy.com to learn more about our online courses, trainings, and events. And as always, we love to hear from you. If you've got any questions or comments about the podcast, you can either leave them in the comments here on YouTube, or you can go over to financialcoachacademy.com/podcast and submit your questions or comments there. If you're listening to this podcast on iTunes, please do leave us a review. Those reviews are so helpful for helping us spread the word about what we do here at Financial Coach Academy. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week.